Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Saturday, July 30th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So, in today's video, we'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about my core plays for the FanDuel main slate for today, it is a 9-game main slate overall. And then going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we went with Justin Verlander at $11,100. Got to 45 points, so he was a hit yesterday. There was a couple pitchers that finished ahead of him, but all together, he was pretty much the safest play on yesterday's slate when it came to the pitcher position. Figured he'd be pretty chalky, but he only came in around 8%, so pretty good day overall for him. Then at catcher, we had Gary Sanchez at $2,300. He had very good history versus Blake Snell. Unfortunately, only ended up with 3 points yesterday, so we did give him a push. Then at second base or shortstop or third base, just depending on where all you played him. Typically, I played him at second base. We had Luis Urias at $2,600. Got to 0 points. He was a miss and went 0 for 4 yesterday, so that was an unfortunate miss there. Then at shortstop, we had Carlos Correa at $2,900. He was also a miss. He got 0 points and he was 0 for 3. As I mentioned with Gary Sanchez, Blake Snell ended up pitching very well yesterday. That's kind of been the case with him this year. He's either pitched really well or really poorly. Unfortunately, it was on the really well side, so Gary Sanchez, Carlos Correa didn't turn out to be as good a plays as they looked like be on paper. Then last but not least, we had Nick Castellanos at $2,300. He got to 9 points, so I did give him a hit since he was a cheap pay down price tag overall. So not the best day overall, but you're going to have that sometimes with MLB DFS. Kind of a little bit of a rough stretch here, but looking to bounce back in a big way today. And with that being said, we'll move over to my court plays for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position with Framber Valdez, $10,400, averaging over 37 fantasy points per game on the season. Pretty safe play today. Goes against the Seattle Mariners. Should be a favorable matchup for him as he does have decent history versus the Seattle hitters. If you want to pay down a little bit to $9,900 Johnny Cueto, you could do that going against the Oakland A's. It's a great matchup, but I do believe Johnny Cueto is a little bit overpriced at this point in time. Could give you pretty similar results, though. And then at first base, we're going to go with Rhys Hoskins at $3,000. He's 2 for 2 versus Mitch Keller, the starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates today. Hoskins is averaging over 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Pretty good upside here, although Mitch Keller is pitching a little bit better as of late. So if you don't want to play Rhys Hoskins, you can definitely look at some other options as well. And then moving down to third base, we get Alex Bregman at $2,800, averaging over 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Been very hot in this series so far. And he's 4 for 13 versus Chris Flexen in his career, so there is a little bit of upside there as well. And then we move down to the outfield. We're going right back to Nick Castellanos today at $2,300, averaging over 8 fantasy points per game on the season. Obviously worked out yesterday. Goes against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's 7 for 21 with 2 home runs versus Mitch Keller, so there is a little bit of upside there as well today. And then last but not least, we had the man himself, Yordan Alvarez, at $4,600, averaging over 14.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Seattle Mariners and Chris Flexen today. He's 4 for 12 with 2 home runs versus Flexen in his career. So definitely a ton of upside there once again. And obviously he's been a guy that's been hitting the ball very, very well when he's been in the lineup so far this season. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $11,900. Just under $3,000 per player, so you're probably going to need to find a couple other value plays, mix and match, or take a little bit more balanced approach today overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So the stacks that I do have for today, we're going back to the Colorado Rockies once again, going against Clayton Kershaw. Game is at Coors Field. They got to Kershaw pretty well the last time they faced him, so it could be some upside there once again. Then we have the Houston Astros going against Chris Flexen. He's been kind of middle of the road versus them in terms of giving up runs this year, but these hitters have hit him very well in the past. And then we have the Philadelphia Phillies going against Mitch Keller. Phillies do have very, very good history versus Mitch Keller. You know, Nick Castellanos, Rhys Hoskins, Kyle Schwarber, who's the one that I didn't mention already. Could be some upside there. Mitch Keller's been pitching a little bit better as of late, so we'll see which side kind of wins out today. And then last but not least, I do have the Atlanta Braves going against Corbin Martin of the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have never faced him before, but not a highly touted prospect, not a guy that's had much success at the MLB level, so I do expect the Braves to have a pretty good day overall once again. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, July 30th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player that you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you had to say. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, mainly MLB DFS at this point in time. But once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I'll be covering those two sports as well. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber is yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I upload a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.